Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I got the how to make a Demon Slayer game. This is part one. I decided to kind of test this series out and stuff since Demon Slayer is currently airing right now and stuff. So if the first part does well, then I'll continue the series. If not, then I probably won't continue the series, or at least I won't try until the next season of Demon Slayer. But yeah, so if you guys show the video lots of love, then I got y'all with continuous parts. So this part, since it's just part one and I'm just testing it, we're not doing a whole lot. We're setting up a basic sword M1 combat system, as well as setting up a breathing system. Like, you hold a certain keybind, and so like while you hold it, you gather, I guess you could say you gather breath. I guess I don't really know how to put it, but like it's kind of like an energy bar in a sense, right? um and also there is a sheath. I made it a sheath and unsheath system and stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do, I guess right off the bat, I'll cover replicated storage. Okay, so inside of replicated storage, I have this smoke effect and stuff. The reason it's inside of replicated storage is because I need it on the client side and stuff, right? Pretty much, it's gonna be this is the effect of when a player is like holding down the keybind to like gather their breath. Like, I really don't know how to put it into words, but if you watch Demon Slayer, you know what I'm talking about. By the way, I took inspiration from Demon Fall and stuff, that game, since that's really the only Demon Slayer game I can really remember I've played and stuff. But yeah, so this is gonna be the smoke that comes out the player's mouth and stuff like that. um while they're holding a certain keybind. I didn't make this smoke or anything. I just got this from the toolbox. You guys could just search up smoke and find one. So put it inside a replicated storage, since we are going to clone it over on the client side and stuff. And obviously we can't put it into server storage, since only the server side scripts can access server storage, right? Then we can insert a remote event into replicated storage. You're going to want to rename this remote event to core event, right? Then I guess since we'll go sound service. So sound service, I have 4 sounds. You can get all these sounds from the toolbox. That's what I did. We have a sheath, unsheath. So this is when you're putting your sword up or away, and this is when you're taking your sword out. Then we have sword swing, which is when you're just swinging the sword. Then sword hit is when you actually make contact with an NPC or a player and stuff. Again, you can get these sounds from the toolbox. Just search up sword slash, and just search things up, and you'll find these sounds or other sounds similar to it if you don't already have your own sound effects. Then we can go ahead and open up starter player script. And then, as you guys can see, I have a sheath and unsheath animation. So we're going to insert a local script into starter player script. So click the plus icon, local script. You're going to want to rename the script to core script, in parentheses put local. So what you can do is you click the plus icon, you could just type animation, insert it, right? So you're going to want to name one of those animations sheath animation, and the other one unsheath animation and stuff, right? So you're just going to get 2 animations. Again, I got all of my animations, effects, sound effects, everything is from the toolbox. The only thing I have done is the scripting and stuff, right? So you can get your own sheath and unsheath animations from the toolbox. There's a ton of them you can just find and stuff. And then once you get them, put them inside a local script. The reason for this is that I don't really see the point to play the animation on the server side for all players to see and stuff. I don't really think that really matters and stuff, because like once you take the sword out, like once we parent the sword to the player's character, it'll also replicate on the server side. Like, that's an automatic thing. I didn't honestly know that until I started working on this video, but yeah. So other players will see that the player has a sword out though. Anyway, let's go ahead and get straight into, or actually no, let's do the UI first. I was gonna get into the script, but no, let's do the UI first. Let's take care of that. So the UI, this might be a little confusing and stuff. Go ahead and head on over for starter GUI, click the plus icon, insert a screen in GUI, and then rename this to core GUI, right? Do I want to do reset? I feel like this is one of the rare instances where reset on spawn is actually good. Yeah, I'm gonna say leave this enabled for now. Then I'm gonna insert a text label. We're honestly, there's only 2 text labels, like it's not much UI. So here's what we're gonna do, right? You're gonna want to rename this one. Let's do this one to full breath text label. So we need 2 text labels, one to display the like max amount, like I really don't know how to word this, like breath energy, or just how much breath you like. I really like, it just sounds so stupid, like how much energy you have, you know what I'm saying, and stuff, for you to be able to use breathing arts and stuff. Like, I don't even know how to word this shit. Anyway, so I'm gonna show you guys, or give you guys my position and my sizing, but you guys can put it wherever you want and do the sizing and stuff however you want. All that matters is that you name it the same as I've named it. So for position, I did 0.74, and then over here is 0.49. So over here, so like kind of the middle left, I mean middle right. Then for sizing, it's pretty much the kind of the opposite. So like this is 50, so it's 50 by 0. Or I think this is actually, wait, no, yeah, this is supposed to be 50 by, wait, but wait, that doesn't even make any sense. 0, 50, 0, 0. Oh, wait, sorry, this is the wrong one. This is wrong. My bad. Okay, so I did do this. So okay, we did do this right. I just named this wrong. So this is the current one. Sorry, rename. So change full to current, and then you could just duplicate this. So select it, Control D, then rename this one to full. Okay. So yeah, we didn't waste our time. It's just I did the other one by mistake when I was trying to do this one. Okay, so for this, the position remains the same except for the Y value. So you're gonna change this to 0.226, right? And then you're gonna change the sizing for this to 0 and then 4 by 49, and then the Y value is 198. Boom. And then of course we can clear out the text, no need for text, and then we can change the text color, or sorry, the background color. So I do want to clarify something, or I'll actually clarify this in a second actually. Let's finish this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the background color to like a nice dark black or dark gray, I guess would be more accurate. Then I'm going to make it, you know, transparent, so see through. So like background transparency set to 0.5 for full breadth. Current breadth, you're going to want to make the background color red, right? At the moment there's no size. Now I know this doesn't really make any sense. The whole point is we want this bar to be like red and stuff, yet current is in the middle. The reason for this is because you have to understand when you're in studio and you have all of this stuff open, the output menu, the explorer, all this stuff, the UI isn't like, it isn't positioned correctly. Like it won't look like this when you actually test the game. So when I actually test the game, it's gonna actually have this like down here and stuff, so it'll actually make sense. I know it's gonna look a little stupid when we test. I'm just letting people know ahead of time so that I don't get people complaining about it's not positioned correctly or something. So yeah. But just like that, we are done with the UI, and then we can move on to the sword. Okay. So you can, you know, go to the toolbox. Yeah, I was just searching for my sound and stuff. It's that simple. So if I go to recent, right? Let me see. So okay, so sword katana. So I just searched up sword in the toolbox. Maybe you have your own sword model. It doesn't really matter. Just get a sword, right? Um, get a sword by whatever means you want. I'm gonna delete all the stuff inside of the sword. Then we need to create this. We need to turn this into a tool. So click the plus icon instead of workspace. Insert a tool. You're gonna want to name this tool to sword. Insert the sword part into the tool. You want to make sure that the sword's can't collide property is disabled, as well as the anchored property, right? And then you're gonna want to insert a part into the tool. So boom, and then you're gonna want to rename this part to handle. This is the part where the player is gonna actually hold. So can't collide disabled, and then anchored is disabled as well. You also want to make it transparent, but we'll do that once we finish. Okay, so you're gonna want to scale this and also put this exactly where like the sword's handle is and stuff, right? So we're going to, I guess, maybe make it transparent so you could just see a little better. So you're gonna do it like this, right? You want it to be exactly where the player's hand is gonna be. So it's gonna be obviously a little longer since it's a curved blade. So boom, then I'm gonna drag this down like that. Drag it back so here. And then, yeah, like that's a pretty accurate, yeah, that's pretty accurate of how I want the player to hold the blade. Okay, so boom, or where I want the player's hand to be. So boom, that's our handle, make it fully transparent. And then boom, just like that, you are done, right? So you can enter the sword into starter pack, right? We're going to disable the toolbar, so no need to worry about that. We're not going to display that. So let's go ahead and test real quick. Let's play the game. Reason for this is because we're probably going to have to fix the sword. Wait, I'm confused. Where's the sword? Starter pack. Oh my bad. I put it in the wrong place. Sorry. Make sure you put it in starter pack, not starter player. Okay, so we have our sword, right? So, oh my bad. Actually, I forgot. We have to weld it. Sorry guys, I forgot we have to weld it. Okay, so insert a weld constraint into the handle. Part 0 is the handle. Part 1 is the sword. My fault. Forgot we have to weld it. Okay, so once we've welded it together, boom, the sword, we have the sword in hand. Now, you may experience an issue like this, where it's obviously facing the wrong direction. All you have to do is go to workspace, go to your player, find the tool, right click on it, scroll down to find the property orientation under grip, and then you're just going to adjust this. So you may have to change X, Y, Z, maybe multiple, but play around with this until you get it to where it's facing the correct, it has the correct orientation. As you can see, it's facing up, so it's correct now. So obviously changing this while testing it's not a permanent change. That's all I'm doing is just changing the sword inside of my player. So to make this, so to like, finalize these changes, so if you're just going to remember the coordinates, or not the coordinates, you're just going to remember the numbers, or just copy and paste. You just copy them, and then you want to modify the sword inside starter pack. So we're going to go back here, add -9, and boom, there we go. Now if I rejoin the game, the sword should be facing, yep, correct direction. And just like that, we have our sword. We are ready to go. Okay, so now we can actually get into the actual scripting. So open up the local core script, delete print hello world. We got to create a couple of variables, not gonna lie to y'all. First, we got to get a couple services. Let's create the tween service. So local ts is equal to game get service tween service. We're going to be using the service to animate the bar so that it goes up and down. We're going to animate it so it's not just jumping up and down, right? So then we're gonna get the user input service to detect when a player is trying to, when a player is trying to unsheath and sheath their sword, when a player is trying to do M1s, and when a player is trying to get their breathing up. So local UIS is equal to game get service, quotation marks user input service. Then for our last service, we're gonna get the sound service for, of course, the sound effects. So local SS is equal to game get service sound service. Then for the next variable, we're going to get the local player. So local player is equal to game.player is the local player. We're then going to use the local player to then get the core GUI. So local core GUI is equal to player.player GUI, wait for child, core GUI. Then I'm going to create a variable for the core remote event. So local core event is equal to game.replicated storage, wait for child, core event, right? Then I'm going to set up the first function. I'm going to say UIS that input began, connect function, in parentheses put input, comma processed. Enter, you're then going to set up an if statement. So if input that user input type is equal to enum that user input type dot, for this first one, we're going to say keyboard and not processed. Enter. You're going to say if input dot keycode is equal to enum dot keycode dot e. So this is where you're going to put your breathing keybind. This is the keybind where this is going to be the keybind where for the amount of time the player is holding down the key, while the player's holding down the key, their breathing is gonna like increase, not like a level or something. I'm saying like it's gonna like the bar is going to raise itself and stuff. And obviously when you let go, the bar is gonna slowly drop and stuff, so that they're able to use breathing arts and stuff like that. So you would choose whatever keybind you want and not process. So they're not typing in chat. Enter. Then you're gonna set up the first we'll call it a breath tween. So local breath tween is equal to ts create. For the instance, you're going to say core GUI dot current breath text table, comma tween info dot new, then print, then for the duration, sorry, you're going to say 3.5, but you guys can adjust these numbers as needed. You can change this. You don't have to go with the same numbers I'm going with. This is what I went with. Then enum.easing style linear, enum.easing direction out. Then put comma between the parentheses. Then time to modify the properties. Special brackets, we're adjusting the size, so size is equal to udm2.new. And here is where you're going to put your maximum size and stuff. Like pretty much how big the, where is it? The full bar, or sorry, the full breath text label. So whatever this size is, that is what you are putting and stuff over here. So, or like, or you're putting, the point is you're putting it to where it should fill the bar. Now, you may use the exact numbers from the full breath, but it may not actually fill it, so you may have to adjust the numbers. But this is a great starting point. You may honestly only have to add, like maybe you may have to increase it by like 1 or 2, so it's not really that big of a deal. So for me, I did 0, 50, 0, -200. The reason we're going by negative is because it's down, it's going to be down here, but we're going from down to up and stuff. If you do positive, you're going from up to down. So yeah, we have to do it like this. So once we adjust the size, then we can play the tween. So breath tween, play. I was gonna get a sound effect, but it was a little too difficult trying to find one that actually like it didn't sound weird with it. So yeah, you can get one if you want, but I didn't get one. Then I'm gonna set up an if statement for the smoke effect that we have inside of replicated storage. So I'm gonna say if player.character.head find first child, in parentheses you're gonna put smoke. So if it finds the smoke, that means they've already tried to increase the breathing, or they have to, I really don't know how to word that. The point is they try to use the breathing thing and stuff in the past, and they already have the smoke effect inside of their head. It's just disabled, so we're just simply going to enable it. So we're just going to say player.character.head.smoke.enabled is equal to true. Now we can use an else, which means that the player does not have it, and so then it is their first time, like they just joined the game or something. So we're going to say local smoke, we're going to clone it over, so game the replicated storage dot smoke clone, then smoke dot parent is equal to player dot character dot head. That's where we want the smoke effect to come from. All right, then after this end, we're going to throw an else if. So we're going to say else if input dot dot key code is equal to enum dot key code. So here's where you're going to put, so here you're going to put your keybind to sheath and unsheath your sword and stuff. So I just went with R, and same thing, and wait, and oh wait, I'm stupid. Okay, so just press enter. So you can actually delete this part right here, the not processed. I actually forgot that I forgot we already checked it. We already checked to make sure right here. My bad. Well, anyway, so for here, this is a sheath and unsheath process. So we're gonna first check to see if the player has a sword in their character. If they have the sword in their character, that means it's currently equipped. If it's not in the character, then that means it's in their backpack, which means we got to retrieve because they're trying to equip the sword. So if statement, so if player.character find first child, this is also why you got to make sure name the sword the exact same thing, right? So you're gonna say find first child sword. So if it finds a sword, then we're gonna set the animation track local AT is equal to player.character.humanoid.animator load animation in parentheses. You're then going to put script dot, for this first one it's sheath because that means they're trying to put the sword away. Then you're going to play the animation, right? And then you're also going to play this sheath sound effect. So sheath play, and then you're going to wait. So I did test that wait 0.4 seconds and stuff. Now this will differ for you and stuff. I time this so that it's synced up with my animation and my sound effect. It may be a little different since your animation will obviously be a different length and your sound effect will also be a different length and stuff. So you may have to adjust this wait time and stuff. So yeah, play around with this time if your stuff isn't in sync. Then we're gonna say player.character.sword.parent is equal to player.backpack. So we're just gonna put it inside the backpack and stuff for now. Then we're gonna throw an else. So we're gonna, else if not, same thing, player.character find first child sword. So if they don't find a sword, then that means the player is trying to equip the sword. So what we're gonna do is we can really just copy and paste, save ourselves some time. So you can really just copy and paste this whole portion. So Control C, Control V, right? Because it's literally essentially the same. All you're doing is changing sheath to unsheath animation, then you're just gonna change this to unsheath. You may have to just attach that wait time again. So for me, it was 0.2 seconds, but like I said, it may be different for you. You have to play around the time and stuff, right? So for this, we're going to the sword to find, we're going to the backpack to find the sword. Then we're going to parent this to the player's character, so it's now equipped, right? And then boom. Once we are done there, we just have one more else if statement here, and then this is for the M1s. So we're going to go up here to this arrow, enter, you're then going to say else if input.user input type is equal to enum.user input type dot mouse button 1, and if I recall correctly, yeah. And then this time we need the not processed. So enter. Literally all you're gonna say is core event fire server in quotation marks combat comma in quotation marks M1, right? That simple. And then we're done with the first main local function. Now moving on to the second one. So we're going to say UIS.input ended, connect function, in parentheses, put input, comma, processed. Enter, you're then going to say if input dot user input type is equal to enum, the user input, that user input type dot keyboard and not process, same thing, enter. Then this time you're going to say if input dot keycode dot, is equal to input, or not, enum.keycode.r. So this should be the same exact keybind you have for your breathing and stuff. So when they let go of the keybind, the bar is obviously gonna start dropping and stuff. So this, not R, mine is E. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry and stuff. I'm a little tired, not gonna lie. But anyway, so E, then press enter, and then you're really just gonna, we just come up here, copy and paste here ourselves some time, copy and paste this, Control C, Control V, just to differentiate between the two, just to throw a 2 at the end. So boom, boom. For this, I changed the duration for this to 4 seconds and stuff to slow it down a little bit. Again, up to y'all and stuff. I changed the easing direction to in, and then for the sizing, you just change this back to 0. You just change whatever your fourth value is back to 0, or your third value, depends. And then for the last thing, we're just gonna disable the smoke effect. So we're just gonna say player.character dot head dot smoke dot enabled is equal to false, disabling the effect, and then moving on to the last function, and then we can move on to the server script. So we're going to say core event on client events connect function, in parentheses put event type, enter. We're then going to set an if statement. So if event type is equal to in quotation marks join, so if when a player joins the game, enter, we're just going to simply disable the player's backpack and stuff so that they can't see it. So we're just going to say game.starter GUI, set core GUI enabled, enum.core GUI type, backpack, comma, false. That's simple, and we've disabled it. Boom. Now we can go ahead and move on to the server scripts and stuff. We're halfway done. Let me just double check. Okay, I'm good. So we can then head on over to server script service, click the plus icon, insert a server script, rename the script to core script, in parentheses put server. Then as you guys can see, I have 3 M1 animations, same concept applies. You want to click the plus icon, insert an animation, and you're going to throw these animations inside of the server script. So as you can see, there's a naming scheme, M1 in parentheses, and then it's in that order and stuff. I'm doing a 3-hit system. What that means is you have 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3 knockback and stuff. I didn't include knockback as of yet because again, I'm waiting to see. I will include a blocking system, knockback, and all that stuff if the series continues, right? But for now, it's just basic, just hitting and stuff, right? So it goes like I think it's like left slash, right slash, and this is like an upward down slash, I believe, and stuff, or like a downward slash, I believe. But the point is, you can get your own M1 sort of animations. Again, get it from the toolbox. That's what I did. You can't use my animation IDs, and yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay, so moving on to the server script, delete print hello world. We only need to create 2 variables off the bat. First, get the sound service. So local ss is equal to game get service sound service. Then create a variable for the core mode event, just like on the core local script. Local core event is equal to game the replicated storage. Wait for child core event. Then let's set up the first function. So we're going to say game.players.player added connect function, in parentheses put PLR show for the player who joined, enter. Then you're going to fire the remote event. So core event fire client singular. So send it to that player who just joined, comma, and the name of the event will be joined, right? Then we're going to set up some stuff. So first we'll say player.character added connect function, in parentheses put character. So we just set up the character join or character was added function, right? So we're going to set the combat status system, the M1 attack number tracker, as well as the hitbox system. And then we'll get into the actual M1 combat in the next function. So first things first is create a value for our combat status. I have videos that talk about M1 systems as well as the combat status system. If you want to learn more about that individually, those individual systems, you can watch those videos. So we're going to say local combat status is equal to instance.new. This is going to be, oh my bad. This is going to be a string value parent of this to the player's character. Combat status.name is equal to combat status.value is equal to nothing by default. And then you're just going to duplicate this. So selected, Control C, Control V. You're going to just rename this value to attack number, right? Same thing. Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. This time, attack number is going to be a number value, and the default value will be 1 because you're going to start at 1, then you're going to go 1, 2, 3. At least for me, some games do 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's up to y'all. Then I'm going to create a hitbox. So first things first, local hitbox is equal to instance.new in quotation marks part parent is the player's character humanoid root part, right? So my bad. So we're going to say hitbox.name is equal to hitbox. Then we're going to set some properties. Hitbox.anchored is equal to false. Hitbox.massless is equal to true. Hitbox.canCollide is equal to false. Hitbox.transparency is equal to 1 unless you're testing. Hitbox.size is equal to vector3.new. In parentheses, I went with 5, 6, 2.5. Then hitbox.color is equal to color3.new. Parentheses 1, 0, 0, which is red, again, just for testing. Then we're going to set the C-frame, hitbox pivot 2, character, humanoid, root part, C-frame. And then lastly, you're going to weld the hitbox to the character's humanoid root part. So local weld constraint. This is exactly what we did with this with the sword handle to the sword part. with it to the actual stored part. So is equal to instance.new, in quotation marks, well, it's constrained to parent this to the hitbox. So we'll constrain that part. You could say part 0 is equal to hitbox, then we'll constrain that part 1 is equal to character that humanoid root part, right? Then I'm gonna set up the other function. So I'm gonna say core event dot on server events connect function, in parentheses put PLR for the player who joined, or sorry, not the player who joined, just the player. Then comma event type, comma arg1 for argument number 1. So enter, set up a variable for the player's character. Local character is equal to player.character. Then set up an if statement. So if event type is equal to quotation marks, you're gonna say combat, name of the event, enter. And then we have to add on a couple things here. So first things first, we're going to say and character.combat status value is equal to special bracket, or sorry, is equal to empty parentheses. This means the player is able to attack and stuff. We need to double check to make sure they're not currently being attacked or in the process of already attacking, so that they can't spam M1s. Now, obviously, I know there's other statuses and stuff, like if they're in some type of ultimate or something. Well, this isn't really a Battlegrounds game, so I don't really think that would really apply in this situation, but yeah. The point is we're just going to leave it like this for now. And then one last thing, we need to, of course, make sure that the player actually has the sword in their character, which means they have to have it equipped. We obviously don't want them to be able to attack without a sword equipped. So, and character, find first child, in quotation marks, sword. Boom. Then, moving on, create a variable for the combat type. So, local combat type is equal to arg1, then set up an if statement. So, if combat type is equal to, in quotation marks, M1, enter. Then I'm going to set the character's combat status. Character combat status. That value is equal to, in quotation marks, you're going to say attacking, because they're, attacking an NPC or a player. Then set up the animation track. Local AT is equal to character.humanoid.animator. Load animation, in parentheses, you're going to say script, regular bracket, quotation marks. And this is why I said it's very important that you name it the exact way I have. Then you're gonna use the parentheses, so left parenthesis, and then you're gonna say your string, since it is I believe it's already no, since we're converting a number to a string, yeah. So character.attack number, that value, then go on the outside. Then you're gonna say that quotation marks, right parenthesis, and then after you're gonna say at play. Boom, right? So you're gonna play the sound effects. So here's where you're gonna get your swinging sound effects. So you're gonna play that, right? We're gonna save the hit sound effect for when you actually, or if you actually hit something. Then we're gonna update the attack number. So we're gonna say if attack number, oh my bad, if character.attack number, that value is less than 3. Again, you may have to adjust this number if you're doing like 4 M1s, or if you're just doing a left slash right slash. So yeah, if you're doing just like 2, then you would change the number to 2 and stuff. So yeah. Enter, then we're going to set the character's attack number. We're going to increase it by 1, so it'll go from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Then you're going to say else if character.attack number.value is equal to 3, which means it's the last one, so it's time to repeat the cycle. So character.attack number.value is then equal back to 1. We're just pretty much just starting over. So with this, we're then going to move on. I can delete these, I don't need the space. So then we're going to start setting up the raycasting and stuff to detect if there's a player or NPC nearby. So local start position is equal to character, that humanoid root part, that hitbox, that position, oh my bad, position, right? And then I'm going to set up the direction. Local direction is equal to character, that humanoid root part, that hitbox, that C-frame, that look vector. Then set the raycast parameters. Local raycast params is equal to raycast params dot new close parentheses, enter. Then raycast params dot filter type is equal to enum dot raycast filter type dot exclude raycast params dot filter descendants instances is equal to special brackets character get descendants, right? Then when I actually create the ray, so local ray is equal to workspace raycast, oh my bad, raycast for the origin, start position, comma, direction, comma, throw your raycast parameters in there. Then after that, we're going to set an if statement. So if ray, so if the ray is successfully, fired, and ray.instance, which means it intersected some type of instance, and ray.instance.name, you got to check to make sure it is a hitbox, right? And then lastly, we're going to say ray dot instance dot parent, which is referring to the enemy character. That combat status dot value is equal just nothing, which means they're not currently attacking. So we can, attack them. Then we're gonna set up a variable for the enemy character. Local enemy character is equal to array dot instance dot parent, right? Then we're gonna say enemy character dot combat status dot value is equal to attack, right? Then we're going to take away some health, so enemy character dot humanoid dot health less than, I'm gonna go with 7, but it's up to you guys to go with however much damage you want to do, since these are just regular M1s. Then SS, now here you're gonna put your sword hit. There's the actual sound effect that'll play when you actually make contact with an enemy, NPC, or a player. Then we're gonna set the enemy characters, sorry, not humanoid. You're gonna set the enemy character's combat status back to normal. Combat status level. You can put a delay if you wanted to. So is equal to just close parentheses. Then after that if statement, you're then going to wait and stuff. So in my normal M1 system, I actually had, like, for Battlegrounds game, I just had this time set to 0.5 seconds, but for the sword animations, I did 0.8. You guys can adjust this number as need be and stuff. This is the amount of time a player will have to wait before they're able to, like, in between M1s, I should say, yeah. The amount of time they'll have to wait in between M1s. So then we're gonna say character.combat status value is equal to just empty brackets, and just like that, we are done. I feel like, yeah, that was a 30-minute video and stuff. I feel like we did a lot without, taking too long. Okay, let's go ahead and test this. Like I said, I already know it is not going to, it's not going to look right because I have all these other menus open. If you want to see what the UI like is supposed to properly look like, go test it. Publish a game, go test it in an actual server and stuff on the Roblox website. Okay, so as always, if you guys want access to any of my scripts mods, you guys can be either a channel member or a Discord subscriber. Link to either one of those options can be found in the description as always, so if you can get access to this file in particular, and as well as everything else I have. But anyway, okay, so first thing first, we're going to test the breathing system. So if I hold down R, oh my bad, that was the wrong thing, not R, sorry. If I hold down E, you guys will see the smoke effect is coming out of my, well, you see it's coming off in a certain direction. Oh, by the way, something to include by the way, if your smoke effect is like going up or like just going in a general direction you don't want to go, because I would assume you'd want your smoke to go like left or right or maybe in front of the player, you can simply go to the effect itself and then find the emission direction and then just play with that until it's in the correct direction. So yeah, so as you guys can see, the breathing system is working. The bar fills up to a certain point and stuff. As you can see, obviously, while they're not correctly overlapping and stuff, these are the pretty much the exact same size and stuff. Like if this was down here, then like if I close this out, you guys will start to see my point, right? So yeah, so in an actual server, it would actually look right. Don't ask me why it's like this. That's just how Roblox is. I don't know. But anyway, so the breathing system works. If I hold down E, the bar will fill to a certain point. Then if I let it go, it will drop back down, and then the smoke effect will disappear and everything. So breathing is working as you saw before. Sheath and unsheath works. So if I press R, you guys hear the sound effect. I'm able to sheath and unsheath, sheath and unsheath, right? And then look on the server, it also shows on the server and stuff, right? I honestly don't really understand how this works. I think maybe like when you just give a player a tool, it might just replicate on both sides. But anyway, as you guys can see on the server side, I can also see I have the sword equipped. So regardless, since we're doing it in the local script, other players will be able to see as well. So yeah, then we have our M1 system. So boom, left slash, boom. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go ahead and test to make sure it works on an NPC. Okay, so first thing first, click avatar, rig builder, block avatar. Make sure, okay, very important. Make sure the rig type is the exact type for. Actually, this only matters. Okay, so if you're using R15, choose R15. If you're using R6, choose R6. The reason for this is so that when we add like knockback or flinch animations and stuff, you want to make sure the rig type is the same type so that the animations actually play on them. We don't have any enemy animations now, but I'm just saying in the future, if the series continues, we will. So just make sure it's the right type. Okay, so I should have did this while testing, but click play. If you watch my other videos, you guys already know what I'm going to do. Find your player, your character inside of the workspace, human or root part. Hitbox, copy, find the rig, find the 2-minute root part, right click, paste into, weld. So part 1 will be, oh my bad, part 1 will be the humanoid root part. The hitbox is obviously not going to be, it may not have the correct orientation, and it definitely will not have the correct, it'll be above the NPC. So all you're gonna do is just drag it down. If that's the case, just drag it down and then just rotate it. Orientation, let me see. Let me see if I can, okay, that's not working. 90, okay, so it's not letting me change that. Let me see if it'll let me change the term. Okay, there we go. Okay, so not X. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so and then you can look to see to double check. Boom. Perfect. Change to 1, and we are good to go. Let's go ahead and test and make sure this works. Boom. Sheath my sword. I forget every single time. I forget someone literally just made a joke about it in my comments a while ago. Guys, I just remembered. Okay, so let's go down here to the ray. Direction, you need to multiply this by a certain amount. I recommend a number between 5 to 8. Especially since this is a sword M1 system, you could probably do a bigger number than normal. Okay, so yeah, I forgot that. Because we also need a range with this. So, oh, I forgot. We also need to add the combat status value. So, plus icon string value. We just need to give a combat status for testing. So, combat status. Insert your string value. Rename it to combat status. You don't need to set its value. So R, boom. Okay. So this is, you see, this is just me swinging the sword. You hear the sound effect when I actually make contact. So boom. Just like that, guys, this is how you make a basic Demon Slayer. This is part 1, how to make a basic Demon Slayer game. Like I said, as long as you guys show this video, love and support, then I will for sure continue the series and stuff. Let me know anything you want to see, like comments and stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I will for sure continue the series. Thank you all for all the love and support you guys have shown on the channel. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.